Hey you guys, what's going on? Orbis here, and today I just figured I'd go ahead and make a quick tutorial for 3D pop-out logos, as Soar Cree wanted a new Twitter rebrand or whatever, so I'm gonna make him a new avatar, header, and yeah, so we'll go ahead and get started here. Of course, you're gonna want to open up Photoshop, and you're gonna want to make a new composition, 800 by 800 pixels, so you have a big square as soon as this loads. Sweet Jesus, come on. Let's go. Alright, so you're going to have a nice square. I have a transparent background, but you can create a new layer and basically go with a gradient overlay if you want. But if you're going to do that, you're going to need to fill in the background with some sort of color. So we'll just start with a plain white. And then you're going to want to double click the layer over here and select gradient overlay, and you can change all the settings here depending on how you want it. You can select from a bunch of different things, but I'm just going to go with a basic white to black, or like a white to gray, possibly gradient. And you can also change the angle at which it's at. And the scale, but it's all up to you. You can mess around with it, figure out how you like it. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at my settings. Go ahead and copy them down if you feel the need to. Here they are. Pause the video if you want. Okay, so you're then going to need a 3D logo, clan of choice. I am doing mine for Soar, obviously, so I'm going to select a Soar logo. And to do this, you're going to want to open up Cinema 4D. And I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here and wait for everything to load. Okay guys, we're back and finally have Cinema 4D open and loaded. Now the first thing you're going to do is go ahead and center everything like so, and change the settings to 1920 by 1080 pixels. Okay, once that's done, you can select File and merge in your AI file, Soar AI, and we'll go ahead and move this down here. Okay, now you're going to need extrude NURBS, so select, oops, that's Array and Boogle, I don't want that. So extrude NURBS, and we're going to need 2 of them. So we'll go ahead and extrude, excuse me, and you can just delete that null and hold Control to select both of these, or you can, click and drag, whatever. And you're going to want to hold Alt and press G to create a group or a null. Double click to rename, and I'm just going to go ahead and name this Soar. Okay. Once that's done, reselect just the 2 extrude NURBS and change the depth up to around 115. At this point, you can change the angle at which you're looking at the logo. You're going to want to try to align it to where you can see the under part of the top of the S's and the under part of the S's. The middle doesn't really matter too much, so don't worry about that. This is a good angle for me, so I'm going to keep it that way. You're going to want to come down here at the bottom of your screen and create a new material. This material is going to want to be a solid white, brightness all the way up, and that's pretty much it. You don't really need much else. You can add a glow if you like, but it doesn't matter. So go ahead and apply the white to both of your materials, and if we go ahead and do a quick render here, you can see that it's a white, but it is very dark on the underside, and we can't have that. So you're going to want to duplicate the soar null, so you have two of them now, and you're going to want to select both of your extrude NURBS once again, go to caps, fillet cap, change the radius down to around 1 or 2. I'm going to go with 1. You're then going to select your null and move it back just slightly. And then you can create another material. Change the color. You're going to want a nice, a nice bright gray. Sorry, excuse me. That was my Skype going off on my phone. Okay, so you're then going to want to apply this material to the underlayer, like so. So if we render it now, it's gotten a little better. So you're going to want to come up here and grab a spotlight. And just go ahead and move it back. I'm going to add a camera at that point so I can come back to that exact point. Nope, don't want that. I want the light, please. You can change the radius of it and whatnot, but you're going to want to move it back and center it with the Soar Sniping logo, or whatever logo you're choosing. So if we render it now, it's much better. You can see it better, and it's just about ready. I think that's all you need to do. So you're pretty much ready to render it. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get just a little bit better of an angle on this. Okay, that looks fine. Okay, so when you're ready to render, you can select the cog and... Okay, I'm sorry. I'm muting my phone now. Apologize. You can select the cog and fucking cut thingy. Come on, phone. Can you not, please? So you can select the cog and wheel, and you're going to go over to the left side under renderer, and hit save. You're going to want to save it wherever you want, to the desktop or whatever. Name it whatever. You're going to want to render it as a PNG, and make sure you have alpha channel selected. And then you can select render picture to viewer. Now you can head on over to Photoshop and open up the Soar logo. Now, as you can see, it has a transparent background, and that's because you rendered it as a PNG with alpha channel. So one thing I usually do is go down to distort, spherize, kind of zoom out here so we can see the whole logo. You don't want to do it too much, but you can kind of make it bulge out like so. So it's kind of tubby looking. It looks nice. So of course it's going to be absolutely massive because of the render size that we chose. But here's the Soar logo in the square box thingy. You're just going to want to resize it wherever you feel looks nice. I like it there, personally. Now, one thing you're going to want to do is you can either have a 2D SOAR logo, or you can duplicate this layer to make an outline. So if you have the 2D logo, you're just going to make an outline and then line it up with the outlines of this. Or you can do it this way. I'm going to show you guys how to do it this way. So the first thing you're going to want to do is duplicate this by hitting Control Shift D. Oops, that's not right. What am I doing? Okay, apparently I can't do that because it's going to allow me to screen draw with Camtasia, which I don't want to do. So let me get rid of that. Okay. So we're going to want to duplicate the layer and double click the top layer, select stroke, change the stroke color to white, change the pixel density to 1, and now we're going to select the layer below this, grab the magic wand tool, and we're going to want to delete the white parts on the SOAR sniping logo. So if we turn this off, it's just gray. If we turn this off, it's normal. So, and there is a reason behind this, and I will show you guys in a second. So now, we're just going to go on the internet here, and we're going to type in, I don't know, like, nebula, or something cool, something that would look cool in the AVI. That might be kind of neat. I might be able to do something with this, so we'll go ahead and save it and come back to Photoshop here and open it up. Okay, so first I'm gonna move my two logos over a bit here. There we go, that's a bit more centered. Okay, so now we have our background here, and this is what we're gonna use as an overlay, so to speak. And it's very easy to make it 3D. Unlock the background if you have it locked by double clicking the layer. Move it over. I don't know if I want to resize it quite yet, so we're going to put it in between these two layers. And I'm probably am going to want to resize this. So if you have to do that, go for it. Now I just need to take a look at this and figure out how I want this to work. Because I could have the spaceman with a surfboard kind of standing here, looking out at the waves, which would be cool. So it would kind of look like that. But anyways, so put it in the layer. Oops, wrong layer. Sorry guys. So one thing you're gonna want to do is the layer that is only like the gray parts that I showed you before. You're gonna want to put the like whole logo above it, so you can do a clipping mask on the whole logo there. And then you're gonna want to put the gray part, like the middles, on top of everything, so it looks like this. You'll see a difference there. That's just how I like to do it. It looks nice. It looks smoother to me. So Now you're going to want to release the clipping mask. Turn that layer off. And we're going to select the pen tool here. And you're going to want to very carefully pen tool the outline of whatever you're trying to make pop out. Whether it be a unicorn or some shit. And I actually have my pen tool set to outline on accident. So let's just change that to path. And it shouldn't be making... Okay, there we go. So we're going to want to zoom in some more here. Not too much, just enough. Take your time with this. Sorry if you can hear a dirt bike outside of my house. There is a douchebag who likes to ride his dirt bike as the sun goes down. I have nothing wrong with dirt bikes, I like them, but I'm making a video, so fuck him. Okay, so, as you can see, I'm just going out along the outlines of the spaceman with a surfboard. Make adjustments where you see adjustments are necessary. This tutorial is already 17 minutes long. Didn't plan on it to drag out this long, but I mean, I do want this to look nice as I am doing it for somebody. As I am doing it for like an actual client. If you want to call him a client. I'm just kind of doing this because I feel like it. I haven't done a tutorial or made a video or anything like that in such a long time. I just figured I'd go ahead and do so. And I figured since I was about to do this, I might as well make a quick tutorial on it. Alright, so once you have the whatever outlined, you're gonna make sure you have your pen tool selected. Right click, make selection. I'm gonna add a feather radius of 2, and you now have a spaceman. Now I'm gonna copy. I'm gonna like duplicate him, you know. So now we have 2 spacemen. So I can actually put him above that layer. So now if we create a clipping mask, that is what you see. The spaceman standing up. Like so. Looks pretty cool, so we're gonna go ahead and, oops. We're gonna duplicate this layer again. And we're gonna take it and we're gonna put it below everything as sort of a background. But maybe not, because I just realized that this part will be fucked it. So no, we'll have a different background of something else. But you guys can get more creative, maybe make this nebula pop out of the SOAR logo or something. So I will go ahead and finish this logo and I will be back when I'm done. Alright, I've done what I saw needed to be done. I kind of added a little bit of this water kind of outline here. It's kind of flowing over the spaces here. So the nebula is kind of popping out as well. And the spaceman, I think I'm going to go ahead and do this tree here, so I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back, and as you can see, the tree kind of comes over. Looks kind of nice. In fact, as you can see, all you do after you're done masking it, you kind of take your eraser tool and just kind of erase the parts that wouldn't be really on the logo, like that. So as you can see, it kind of pops out. Everything looks really cool. Got some space in the sky, spaceman on the water, whatnot. Okay, so that looks really neat. And just to show you guys what the water would look like if it wasn't popping out, it looks like that. Kind of boring. I think it looks better with the water personally. And it's actually not spaced right. Oops, that's not it. Put the water back a little more. There we go, that's where it should be. Okay, so that's all you do. Now we need to add some text and a background to this. So I feel like an appropriate background would be some more space, or maybe even an ocean, something like that, but I think I'm gonna go with space. So just pick some random space background. I like this because it's colorful. And I know this is probably the most time-consuming way to be doing this, but I personally feel like it looks the best. This is the most, probably the best way to be doing this, in my opinion. And I might turn the water layer off because it kind of extrudes too much and covers up this part. Doesn't look enough like a SOAR logo. So, and if there's any tips I can give you guys, is obviously don't cover up too much of the logo. Don't make something pop out to the point where you can't even see the logo, because that's just going to look downright bad, honestly. So I know this isn't the picture I picked for the background, but it's going to be the background because I wanted to. So you're going to change the opacity down just a tad bit, just enough to make it work. And I'm going to try to position it somewhere where you can kind of see the spaceman. And I'm going to also try to position it somewhere where I can get this galaxy or the tree aligned. But I don't think it's possible, so I'll just have it like right there. That looks cool. So the next step would be text. So like I said, I am doing it for SOAR Cree. So obviously we're going to want to put Cree under the text here. So use any font you like. I use this font, but you can use like a smoother font if you want, like maybe something like this. Now this font's called Nova Solid. So that's one of the fonts I'm going to be using. I'll probably use that one. I do like it. So I'm just going to select a solid white. And I'm going to make the spacing on the text a little further apart. Not too far. That's kind of gross. That looks nice. Okay, so we're gonna take this, oops, duplicate it, put it above the tree, and create a clipping mask on it. And we're just going to go through these settings here, find one that looks attractive enough. No, that looks cool. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Now we just need to add a stroke on this. A white stroke. Put it down to a 2. That looks nice and smooth. Upscale it. And I'm personally going to go... Wait, hold on. I need to increase the stroke on this. Instead of a 1, I'm going to do a 2 because it looks better now, in my opinion. Okay, back to the text. So I'm going to go up here to Filter, Distort, Wave, and we're going to add like a nice wave kind of wiggle to it. Like that. Nothing too incredible to where it would distort the stroke outline there. And I might reposition this actually to where we have the spaceman like in the R. Oh, that looks neat. And then reposition this. That looks cool. Alright, sweet. So we're pretty much done. There's only one more thing we can do. So you're going to want to go to File, Save As. I'm going to save it to my desktop, and I'm going to save it as a JPEG file. Name it Sorcree. Save it. Highest quality possible. I'm going to minimize all this junk here. And I'm going to open up a program called Magic Bullet Looks. Now, there is a way you can get this for free. It's very simple. Just look it up, or in the future, I am planning on having a tutorial for it. So if you don't have it, just go ahead and look it up because you can do some cool stuff with this. So just go ahead and import that image file into Magic Bullet. It's going to open up, and you can select a bunch of different color corrections. And I'm just going to find one that I think looks nice. That looks kind of pretty. I don't want to overdo it too much. Alright, so I like this, but I don't like the exposure. So let's see if I turn the exposure off, or maybe dampen it a bit. And then the gamma gain can go down just a tad. Maybe not that much. I don't want it too dark. Or too bright. Diffusion. If you don't know what diffusion is, if you bump it up a bunch, it basically brings out colors and stuff. Curves. Brightness, contrast, basically. Just mess around with it. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. If you liked the tutorial and it helped you, please leave a like. Sorry for it being 30 minutes long. It did drag out quite a bit. I'm sorry. I just really like high quality things. So once again, if you did like this tutorial, please drop a like and subscribe for more. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good night.